Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to session 2. This session focuses on the 2026 RCN crop scenario and outlook across various key producing countries. Our panel of experts will discuss the challenges, opportunities and projections for the coming year in major cashew producing regions. Moderating this session is Mr. Abhijit Shinde from ETG. Joining him are industry experts representing key cashew producing countries, Mr. Beh Soro OIA from Côte d'Ivoire, Mr. Dang Huang Giang VINACAS from Vietnam, Mr. Mohamed Diaoune Agro Industrie S.A.R.L from Guinea, Mr. Vivek Ojha Olam Food Ingredients from Ghana/Togo, Mr. Issa Sankara Tarsnere S.A.R.L from Burkina Faso, Mr. Sui Kokthean Cashewnut Association of Cambodia from Cambodia, Mr. Ade Adesokan NCAN from Nigeria, Mr. Jahid Nagawala Alpha Group from Mozambique. Together, this panel will provide valuable insights into the regional dynamics of the 2026 RCN crop, helping to shape expectations for the upcoming harvest season. Please join us as we begin session 2.
Honorable guests, esteemed panelists, industry leaders, and friends from the cashew fraternity, good morning. It is my privilege to welcome you to this session on country-wise RCN crop scenario and outlook for 2026. This session focuses on the foundation of our industry, the raw cashew nut, and more importantly, what its 2026 scenario looks like in the major countries of Northern Hemisphere. RCN is where every cashew story begins. When RCN moves, the entire industry moves with it, be it processors, traders, brands, and markets across the globe. As we move into the 2026 season, the global cashew industry is navigating rising geopolitical uncertainties, a situation shaped by both opportunities and challenges. From shifting weather patterns to evolving government policies to changing processing dynamics and demand trends across key consumer markets to growing expectations around sustainability. Today's discussion is not just about numbers and volumes, but to understand where the ASEAN supply is heading in the major countries of Northern Hemisphere. What are the expectations and how the industry can prepare rather than react. Building on the solid performance of the last year's crop, which provided much needed stability to the global supply, let's see what 2026 holds for the industry. We are truly honored to have with us a distinguished panel of industry experts and stakeholders who will share their insights based on ground expertise, market intelligence, and policy experience. Their insights will help us to understand not only what the new season might bring, but how can we position ourselves to benefit from it. So let us use this session to ask the right questions, challenge assumptions, and more importantly, share practical and forward-looking perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin with brief presentations on respective origins from each of the speakers. Will be followed by a panel discussion, and we'll do a Q&A session of audience. Before we move into the new season of Northern Hemisphere, we will have a brief review on the recently concluded Mozambique season. For that, I would like to invite Mr. Jahid Nagarwala from Alpha Crop.
Thank you, World Cashew Conference, for this wonderful opportunity. Myself, Jahid Nagarwala from Alpha Group. We are one of the leading exporter of pulses, cashew, sesame seed, peanuts from Mozambique, Tanzania, Sudan, Togo, Nigeria, and Ghana. We are doing this operations past 20 years. Since 2005, 2006, we started our operations in Mozambique, and then we spread it to various countries in Africa. Today, I would like to give some highlights, some brief on Mozambique. When we say Mozambique is one of the beautiful country among East Africa, blessed with rich agricultures of cashew, sesame seed, pulses, and many other agricultures. Mozambique have a very, very old history of cashew exports, more than 80 years. This number might be higher since we heard since 80 years before the Mozambique was one of the biggest producers of cashew, as well as long years back there was one of the biggest processor even for the cashew. In our anthems, national anthems, we say Mozambique nossa terra gloriosa, and indeed it is a glorious. And we proud that we are presenting the Mozambique now. Mozambique cashew, we divide in three main parts. One is the north zone. North zone belongs to production of Cabo Delgado, Nampula, and Zambezia province. And this is the largest belt of cashew producing. Another zone is the central zone, which includes cashew production of Sofala and some part of the Yambani province. Another parts of cashew production is south zone. That belongs to cashew production of Gaza province and some remaining part of Yambani. And this south zone cashew is being exported from the Maputo ports, while the central zone cashew is exporting via Beira port. Normally, Mozambique, our harvesting starts in October in north zone. Every year, we get the export permit from the governments in December, beginning of the December. And shipments taking place from the December end to January, early January. For this year, 2026 crop, we received government export permit from 19th December 2025. And many shipments already started the same time. Current year, last year the production data was approximately 130,000 to 150,000 tons. And current year we are expecting the similar data. We are just afraid there was some flooding situation in southern part of Mozambique. So this might affect some data. So if we still our surveys are running and still some areas are underwater. So if this rain will not affect the area, the production will jump till 150,000 tons. Otherwise, it might remain till 130,000 tons. Normally in Mozambique, December month is a dry month. We are not getting much rain. But unfortunately, this year, rain started very early in mid of the December, which affected the sun drying process of most of the exporters, and shipment was on delayed little bit due to this highly rain. Situation was improved in month of January when there was a gap of the rain and many shipment was performed. If I give you the latest update, past 3-4 days, there was a high rain in Nacala zone. The Nacala port was also flooded and the production area was also flooded. So this might again get delayed of some ongoing shipments. On the other side, south zone suffered very high rain and flooding situation in mid of January, which might get effect on production of south zone areas. These are the chart where the Mozambique cashew has traded for this crop season 2025-2026. Beginning of harvest in October, cargo was traded near about 1,350. This is 46-47 LBS based C&F Vietnam C&F India price, landed weight, landed quality pricing idea. After that, behind the Tanzanian firm auction price, Mozambique was traded little higher, and in November it was traded 1425 level. And December it was traded more upper $30-40. Behind the news of Ghana's cargo, there was some news in the market. So Ghana have quality, less quality than expected. Ghana have a little less production. This news was spreading in the market. So behind that news, Mozambique also gets some fuel in the price. So price has jumped from 1470. And in January, ready shipments where everybody was asking the nuts and there was a shortage of raw nuts in the market, the price was jumped to 15225 level, C&F level. See, this normally we don't face such type of high jump of $100-150 during our crop. But our observation, this is due to the shortage of the nuts and due to the firm price of Tanzanian auction pricings. So Mozambique got these benefits of price jumps. See, if we follow market trends current days, most of the time, Mozambique, we get the benefit of raw nut shortage window. It will be between November to January. Normally, November to January, only Mozambique and Tanzania are producing the raw cashew. Rest of the part of the world, they don't have cashew. So Mozambique and Tanzania, we are getting benefits of good high pricings. At this January month, most of the Mozambican cashew has been booked, has been sold out. There is a very few nuts remaining to unsold. Mozambican south part are under situation of floodings and might be production loss or less of the production. Tanzanian offers are firm. Early cargo of Ghana, getting a news that's little poor quality than expected of, people was expecting 51, 52, but that we are getting the news, they are not performing under till 51 or 49, they are getting 49 or 48. So this news also giving a fuel to the markets. So looking this all scenario, we expect Mozambican price will remain firm until the March, April, until the market get enough raw nuts from Nigeria, Ghana, or IVC exports. These are the main updates from my side. Thank you very much for your listening, and for question answer, I'm available. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nagalwala, for nicely reviewing the recently concluded season and giving some context to the audience on how the pricing was affected and how the quality issues erupted in between due to the weather patterns. Now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the new crop, I'd like to invite Mr. Giang, Secretary General of VINACAS, to present on Vietnam.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm very honored to be here, representative for VINACAS. Together with me, I have Mr. Bạch Khánh Nhiệt, Standing Vice President of VINACAS. He's in my team, and together to support my slide today. And also, first on, we'd like to say thank you to all of you and to congratulate to all of you for a bumper crop last year with 5.85 million metric ton of raw nut all over the world. So congratulations to Cambodia, 1 million metric ton of raw nut. Congratulations to Ivory Coast, 1.5 million metric ton of raw nut. So you can see the smile from VINACAS President, who would like to send the best wishes, best regards to all of you today, and extend the best regards, extend the successful event of WCC 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, 2025 is a very tough year, and everyone knows. We have to face so many difficulties, internal, external difficulties, due to the internal environment, and also the subjective and objective reason. So we have so many reasons to say about the difficulty last year. So everyone here, you see the figure, 5.85 million metric ton of raw nut for bumper crop. And everyone, Vietnam exported a record with 5.45 billion US dollar to 111 markets. But all of you in this hall, can I have a question? How is your benefit? Can you get better benefits than last year, 2024? This is my question. You think about, how the benefits? Or benefit from the USA, or benefit from for the European buyer, or benefit for Indian, Vietnam, or West Africa seller? Let me think about. So then I move on. And this panel, we focus on the crop. So in terms of the crop, yeah, actually I have to mention, because Vietnam much behind than other countries in the world for the production. Right now we are fourth position. We behind Cote d'Ivoire, we behind Cambodia, we behind India in the production capacity. And you see the data on the screen. Only one figure is higher than last year. This is the mean yield. The mean yield of cashew tree in Vietnam, 1.2 ton per hectare. But the remaining three figures, total acreage, and also the measure of tree acreage, and also the production capacity all decrease. And this is the data from the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment we get. And this is different to the data from INC. So it means nothing. It means nothing to all of you because at this moment, Vietnam had to rely on the import. Vietnam had to rely on the raw nut imported and Burma imported from other countries. At least from now, 10 years, 20 years, we have to rely on. And it is what it is. I don't care about this, yeah, because this is, it's not important to Vietnam right now. But we have to keep a stable acreage, stable land for cashew tree to secure at least for the domestic consumption. Yeah, this is the vision of Vietnamese government because you know, at this moment, everyone here, you come to Vietnam many times. And you know, in Vietnam, we do not only have cashew nut. We have cassava, we have rubber, coffee, and recently, durian. How much durian got last year? $4 billion, US dollar. 4 billion. Durian very big. And it's a very big question. If you are a farmer, you are a rich farmer, which crop you choose? Between durian and other crop, it's like coffee, pepper, cashew nut. At this moment, only in my opinion, only in the far eastern area and also the mountain area with sloping condition, they choose the cashew tree to grow in Vietnam. So that's why 1 hectare of durian you can get 1 billion Vietnam dong. Why for 1 hectare of cashew tree you got only 100 to 200 million Vietnam dong? And the exchange rate right now is fluctuated, yeah, but it's stable right now. It's around 26,000 Vietnam dong per US dollar, but it's stable right now thanks to the government. And I think it's good. It's good for the importer as well, importer, and also I think the exporter for the exchange rate is good for everyone. But maybe I mentioned too many things. Yeah, it's not related to my slide on the crop. Very sorry. And in terms of the cashewnut export 2025, yeah, as I mentioned before, Vietnam made a big record with the 5.43 billion US dollar export turnover. And the value and the most, is the key export markets for cashew kernel is China. China last year #1. We have to thanks to Giang from CNA, China friend. Last year we export a lot to Cambodia, to China. The second country is USA. Normally USA #1, but last year China #1. China accounted for around more than 19%, and USA only 14%. And with the result, I can affirm that Vietnam still standing the number one in exporting country of cashew. And right now, we are accounting more than 80% of total export volume of kernels all over the world. And cashewnut is one of the top 5 export agriculture item of Vietnam. Very important. For the ASEAN import and Burma import, many people over here, you are concerned about the Burma import and especially the policy from Vietnam in the coming time. ASEAN import, we imported last year 3.12 million metric ton of raw nut from Africa and Cambodia, especially from Cambodia, almost 1 million. Almost 1 million. It's not up to 1 million even, but almost 1 million. And the next one is Côte d'Ivoire and other countries, as normal. And for the Burma, we imported 128,000 metric ton. And if we converted, and in terms of the ASEAN converted ratio, the ASEAN accounted for about almost 15%. ASEAN accounted for more than 85%, and Burma cashewnut accounted for 15% of the total import of Vietnam. And this figure, I think, demonstrates that Vietnam plays a very important role in the ASEAN. It's not only in the cashew kernel export market, it's also in the ASEAN import market. It's very important to all of you, to own a bird. Next slide. I demonstrated some challenges in 2025. But this slide I will send to you because this slide is the document, the online that will share to you. I have a limited time. I will not share the detail. But yesterday at the closed door meeting with the top producing country leadership, I talk a lot and I mentioned some maybe the sensitive information that maybe all of you in the leadership of the top producing countries, they have the information and they will try their best to improve and to find out the good way to resolve the problem. Here the policy advocacy, as well. It's so long, because this slide prepared by VINACAS, and if I speak all of words over here, I have to take more time. I want to focus on the Q&A. Q&A is better. And the last slide, actually VINACAS and our member on way want to, and we committed to be a trusted partner and ready to work closely with the international cashewnut community to build a fair and sustainable cashewnut value chain that deliver balance, benefits, and share rich for the farmer, businesses, and consumer worldwide. And thank you for your attention, and we look forward to welcoming all of you to the 15th VINACAS Golden Cashewnut Rendezvous to be held in Ho Cham, Vũng Tàu, Ho Chi Minh City in the Q4 2026 this year. Thank you very much. And for the Q&A, I have slides, and I answer all of your questions later on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Dang. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate Vietnam and VINACAS, especially of still achieving the highest number of exports recording, despite having a lot of disruptions around the tariff issue. Congratulations. With this, we'll move on to Cambodia. I request Mr. Thian, Vice President of Cashewnut Association of Cambodia, to present.
My beloved cashew family, very nice to meet you today. Today I'm going to brief presentation about the Cambodia cashew and the situation of Cambodia. So my name is Kokthean, Vice President of the Cashewnut Association of Cambodia. Cashewnut Association of Cambodia was established in 2009. So we have got our mission, our vision, a mission, and goal. So we set up this goal several years ago. When we come to the World Cashew Conference first time, we present our goal to the World Cashew family. Number one is to provide a technical training to the cashew nut farmer and AC all over Cambodia. We're still doing that. And establish the community warehouse all over the cashew potential province in Cambodia. And establish the first cashew processing factory to train the processor in Cambodia. We're about to get it. And the fourth, transform Kampong Thom province to become the Cambodia biggest cashew industrial zone. So this is our goal. It's nearly finished as well. At the moment, the government is really paying attention for the cashew industrial park in Kampong Thom. So I will explain to you more detail in the next slide. Cambodia Cashewnut Association is working very closely with the farmer, cooperative, processor, and trader. And our direct member is 7,502 family, cover 15,000 hectares in August 2022. Indirect member, we got 45 agricultural cooperative. So 45 agricultural cooperative, 12,300 family and cover 200,000 hectares. And private company, 38, cover 100,000 hectares and 112 traders all around Cambodia. 40 processor, 4 medium-sized processing factory. So the total of the CAC member is 19,802 family, cover 450,000 hectares. It's about production. So total cultivation area is 580,000 hectares all over Cambodia. 2025 production, 1,020,752 tons, not including processing inside the country. Among this, our cashew production, 95% of the RCN we export is to Vietnam mainly, India and some to China. About 5% we process inside Cambodia. And our processing cashew we export to Japan, Europe, Australia, AEU, and some other countries as well. Average price for 2025 between 1,200 to 1,500 US dollar weight cashew. You can see this is our data from 2009 until 2015. This is our data. I want to reflect a little bit about the government incentive. Investor can own, foreign investor own 100% of the company except land. So if you invest in Cambodia, you can own your company 100%. No restriction on capital movement or profit repatriation. So it means you can transfer your money back to your country anytime. There's no restriction. That is a good thing for the investor. Tax incentive, income tax, exemption up to 9 years. If you apply for the QIP or you apply according to the new investment law of Cambodia, is a lot of incentive. You can just go to the CDC, Council Development of Cambodia website, and then you can see a lot of tax exemption for the investor. Import duty exemption on equipment input, VAT exemption on production input. So for Cambodia, even though the CIP, Cashew Industrial Park, a little bit stuck, but it still keep going. As you know, that it's not that easy to develop 400 hectares of land into the cashew industrial park. It needs to take time, effort for developing. So it needs to take a bit of time. But beside that, besides QIP, CIP, we got new investment law that potential for the foreign investor to invest in Cambodia, that you can apply for a lot of incentive there. So I just note a little bit, the government of Cambodia is developing the cashew industrial park called CIP on 400 hectares of land and facilitated and supported the investor to come over into Cambodia. Besides this 400 hectares of land, one of the richest guy in Cambodia, he looking for another 300 hectares of land in Kampong Thom, developing the agriculture industrial zone that can provide very good opportunity for the foreign investor and also the local investor in Cambodia. So the challenge and opportunity, Cambodia, we got some problem with the climate change. As you know, cashewnut is very sensitive to the climate change. Even hot, cold, more rain, it affected. So post-harvest and technical management in Cambodia, a little bit of the problem as well. Before we sold 100% of the wet nut to outside the country. But now some are start to drying and keeping and sell after the harvesting. Infrastructure, drying, field, community, warehouse, etc. Processing, we are really new and we love to learn some more from the other country as a family in cashew. Opportunity for investor, market opportunity, processor, trader, because at the moment, for the trader, you don't want to do the processing, you can build a warehouse or rent a warehouse, buy raw cashew and supply to the processor in Cambodia or sell to Vietnam, to China or to India as a raw cashew. It's also profitable for the trader. And also Cambodia cashew, as you know, 70% of the total production is a big nut. So it's a lot of very great consumption in China for the big nut and also India. Our Indian friends come to Cambodia, they're always looking for the big nut and export to India. Cambodia cashew nut is unique. Cambodia is the second largest producer in the world. So you don't have, if you invest in processing in Cambodia, you don't have to worry about supplying the raw cashew because over 1 million tons stable, it will be increased every year as a time being because in the last 3-4 years, Cambodia farmer growing rapidly. Last year we have no seedling to grow. And I can see some of the seedling is flowing from Vietnam to Cambodia to grow as well. The government of Cambodia provide incredible incentive, as I mentioned about, to the investor. Thank you for your attention. If you want more information about Cambodia cashew, you can go to the website below, CAC official org. We got our newsletter every 3 months and other information useful for the investor all over the world. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Thien. Moving on to Africa, I'd like to request Mr. Vivek Ojha to present on Ghana and Togo.
Before I start, I just want to thank Cashew Information for giving me this opportunity to speak at this prestigious event. A brief about me. I am Vivek Ojha. I am with Olam Food Ingredient for last 10 years. I have been serving in different parts of West Africa, in Ivory Coast, especially starting from Korogo, Bonduku, Bouaké, Abidjan, and now finally to Accra. And right now I'm heading the operations for OFI in Ghana and Burkina. So a bit on the Ghana crop and the crop in the recent years. Ghana crop from 2021 to 2025, we have seen it is growing with a CAGR of close to 8%. Starting at 200,000 tons in 2021 and now going up to 270,000 tons in 2025. We are seeing a CAGR of around 8% over the year, and we are expecting that the crop will keep growing with at least 5 to 8% CAGR in near future. Meanwhile, what is startlingly different is the crop size and the landing numbers. If we look at the landing numbers in the second graph, you'll see in 2021, the landings in India and Vietnam were close to 400,000 tons. 2025, the landings went up to 457,000 tons. Why there is a difference? It's pretty obvious that the borders are still porous and the crop is coming from the neighboring origins like IBC and Burkina. But what is interesting here is that the cross-border flow has been consistent. So when the crop was 200, the landings were 400. When the crop is 270, the landings are in the range of 450 to 470. That means that 200,000 ton which is coming through the border has been consistent. It is not increasing over the period of time. So it is mostly because the borders are being controlled tightly, especially by the IBC government. Now let's see how this crop is landing and to what are the origins it's landing. Contrary to the belief and the love of Indian processors for the Ghanaian crop, we see here that only 42% of the Ghanaian crop is actually going to India. 58% is still going to Vietnam. I believe that this trend will keep continuing, and we'll see more and more crop is going to Vietnam from Ghana. Now let's look at the Togo crop and what is the outlook for 2026. Togo numbers are a bit surprising because in 2021 the crop was around 62,000 tons. Now the crop has gone to 150,000 tons. So there is a 2.5x increase in Togo crop in last 4 years. Numbers are debatable because of the inflows from different countries, but these are the publicly available numbers which we have been presenting. Same is when you see the landing side. 2021 the landings was 66,000 tons. Now the landings have gone to 267,000 tons in 2025. It can be contributed especially to the cross-border flow from Benin. While you see the destination for the Togo crop, 72% of the crop is going to India, while only 28% is going to Vietnam, contrary to what we saw in Ghana. Let's move on to the outlook for 2026. So we saw heavy rains in month of November and December in Ghana and IBC both, and it has actually impacted the quality of the first crop. So when the season starts, Ghana starts with 50-51 KOR, but in last 20 days, what we are seeing, the crop is in the range of 47.5 to 49 KOR at most. There were people who are saying that the quality will improve over the period of time, but we have not seen it improving in the last 20 days. We are still hopeful that as soon as some of the key areas like Balde, when they start, we'll see a good crop and the quality goes up to 50 KOR. But it's a far-fetched assumption. We are still hoping for a good crop. In terms of area and the size of the crop, we are not seeing much of a problem. We still believe that either it will be a flat crop or with the increase in the acreages, we'll see a slightly better crop than last year. But because of the quality issue, we see that in the month of February and March first half, we'll definitely see a squeeze in terms of overall volume flow from Ghana and overall quality, which is a concern. Thank you, and we'll take the Q&A at the end. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Vivek. That's an interesting view. I think on the volumes landed in India and Vietnam, I think we can have a Q&A session later on that. Moving on to Nigeria, I'd like to request Mr. Adesokan to please present.
I just want to thank everybody for being here this afternoon. I want to thank the organizers of this event. My name is Mr. Ade Adesokan. I am from Nigeria. I am a cashew processor, and I'm also the head of the National Cashew Association of Nigeria. Good afternoon. So this afternoon, I just want to give a brief overview of the Nigerian cashew for 2025 and 2026. Nigeria exports about 300 to 400,000 metric tons. We produce in 21 different states. The reason that we are looking at the 400,000 is because, as we all know, Benin banned export of cashew nuts in the last couple of years. So a lot of that cashew has been finding its way to come through Nigeria. 2025 RCN exports valued at 350 to 450 million, and the majority of the cashew production is exported as raw nuts. Local processing capacity is improving, but it's still below 20-25% of national output. significantly underutilized and store capacity remains. And last year, the average export price was somewhere between, depending on what part of the season you bought, somewhere between 1,400 USD and 1,600, depending on the quality, obviously. Our main export destinations for raw cashew is Vietnam and India. However, processed kernels go into the Middle East, the EU, and the US. Recently, we've been working on expansion, but not in the way that we should yet. Well, those are things that the government is looking into at this point. Most of our acreage is small, older-driven. Large proportions of the orchards remain aging and low yield. Weather conditions. The weather conditions in Nigeria was so far, it's been pretty, there's been no rain, so it's not affected the flowering process. Mixed rainfall pattern across the producing belts in recent seasons. But yeah, but so far for this year, we've not had much rain. Cashew actually started flowering pretty early this year, a lot of places in December. Pest and disease. Ongoing challenges with pests and diseases and limited access to inputs is a problem. Extension services are still insufficient at scale. And these are some of the challenges that we're having. The limited penetration of high yield seedlings, quality variability remains linked to farm level practices. For 2026, we are expecting somewhere around what we did last year, marginally higher, depending on the weather, the orchard rehabilitation, the weather outcomes, and then one of the things that we are working on at NCAN in particular is the better aggregation and post-harvest handling. Because post-harvest handling, if it's not done right, you lose quality and then you also lose income. So we are working on this as well. Nigerian quality is competitive, but it can be inconsistent due to some mixing from different regions. KOR widely varies. So far this season, Kwara State, I know people that have seen 52 KOR. I know people in Kogi that have seen 48, 49 KOR this season. So I'm expecting us to have a pretty decent season this year. One of the major things that a lot of people have been concerned about is the ban on export of cashew nuts in Nigeria. There's no ban. I think it's just some form of propaganda because the government had banned shea nuts at a point, but that just disrupted the whole industry. So we shouldn't worry about the ban on raw cashew nuts in Nigeria. Not anytime soon, in my opinion, because we don't even have the processing capacity to process what we already have. So there's no point in the banning. Nigeria maintains an open export regime while promoting value addition. So we're going to just move gradually. Policy rationale. Early season farm gates encroachment has actually been a major problem because the laws of supply and demand, you know, at the beginning of the season when you don't have that much harvest yet and there's a lot of money chasing few goods, it tends to disrupt prices early in the season and it gradually corrects itself as the season progresses. So too much money chasing too few goods in the beginning turns to artificial price spikes. And this kind of happens every year. So we're trying to figure out how to control that as much as we can, because it also, the traders end up losing money in the process as well if we keep doing the same thing every year. 2026 policy direction. We are actually working with the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Investment at this point to work on a cashew policy roadmap. GIZ has been very instrumental in the origination of the roadmap, and NCAN going forward is going to do everything we can to make all the policies come to realization. So Nigeria is putting structured processes into place to protect the farm gate. Also working with Nigeria's customs, Nigerian Immigration Service, and federal law enforcement. And this is just the farm gate protection. A lot of times, when our farm gate is exposed, it leads to market instability. Some of our key challenges in the industry is infrastructure. We have obviously limited processing infrastructure relative to our production. Logistics and port congestions also. However, if anybody has been shipping from Nigeria in the last few years, you know that the port congestion has subsided significantly. It used to be very bad at some point, but I think it's pretty efficient now. Market structure, fragmented smallholder supply base, weak aggregation system in some regions. Volatility in the FX was a big problem the last couple of years, but I think that's settled down a little bit. Limited access to long-term financing for processors are some of the issues we are dealing with. So processors have to find a way to have creative financing to actually have raw materials to process through the year. Expectations from RCN buyers, just respect the farm gate protection. Once the money comes in, the prices go haywire on the field, and that affects, that destabilizes the prices all year round. You know, I've been trying to explain to people that there's cashew for every price. There's 30 KOR price, there is 50 KOR price. So we can't expect to have 30 KOR cashew and try to sell it for 50 KOR prices. Commercial engagement, preference for structured contracts and predictable lifting schedules, long-term partnerships over spot-driven arbitrage, quality support for drying and traceability and quality standards, alignment with SPS and food safety requirements, shared objective, stable prices, sustainable farmer incomes, reliable supply for global processors and kernel buyers. Thank you very much this afternoon. I'll be around for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Adesokan. I'd like to request Mr. Issa Sankara to present on Burkina Faso next.
Bonsoir à tous. Je suis M. Sankara Issa, le représentant du Burkina Faso. Je m'en vais vous présenter la production de noix de cajou brut du Burkina. Ma présentation se fera généralement en français. Comme plan de notre activité, nous avons la présentation de la filière anacarde au Burkina, le bilan de la campagne 2025, les conditions de croissance de la production 2026, les perspectives de la campagne 2026, la politique gouvernementale et l'attente des acheteurs. Le Burkina Faso est un pays enclavé qui a pour frontière le Mali, le Niger, le Togo, le Bénin et le Ghana. Au Burkina Faso, nous avons 3 grandes familles comme acteurs au niveau de l'anacarde. Nous avons la famille des producteurs d'anacarde, en abrégé UNPA, qui est créée en 2013 avec plus de 23 500 producteurs et 6 500 groupements. Nous avons la famille des associations nationales des transformateurs d'anacarde, créée en 2012 avec plus de 26 unités de transformation. La famille de l'Union nationale des commerçants et exportateurs d'anacarde du Burkina, créée en 2016 avec plus de 3 000 membres actifs. Ces acteurs sont regroupés dans le comité interprofessionnel de l'anacarde du Burkina, qui est un cadre de concertation pour les consensus. Et plus haut, ce cadre est régulé par la structure mère qui est le CBF, le Conseil burkinabé des filières, ex-CBA. Pour ce qui est du bilan de la campagne de 2025, en termes de production, nous avons une quantité estimée à 280 000 tonnes, avec un KOR moyen de 46, pour un rendement de 532 kg à l'hectare. Nous sommes leaders en production biologique, surtout en Afrique de l'Ouest, dans ce sens que la plupart des vergers au Burkina n'utilisent pas de pesticides. En matière de commercialisation, le Burkina Faso a exporté plus de 255 000 tonnes de noix brutes, avec un prix moyen de 1250 $ par tonne. Ce prix fait référence aux différents ports qui sont à proximité du Burkina Faso. Et les principales destinations, c'est l'Inde, le Vietnam, l'Émirat arabe uni, le Togo et le Ghana. En termes de transformation, nous avons environ une trentaine d'unités de transformation, avec une capacité de plus de 60 000 tonnes installées. La quantité transformée pour 2025 est environ 21 000 tonnes, avec un taux moyen de transformation de 7,5%. Pour ce qui est des conditions de croissance, tout présage montre que les quantités vont augmenter pour 2026. Nous avons un renforcement de l'encadrement des acteurs de production, un soutien gouvernemental aux producteurs. À ce niveau, le gouvernement a accompagné les producteurs à travers l'octroi des tracteurs, des motoculteurs et la formation surtout. Il y a l'extension des superficies cultivées avec l'engouement. Il y a des gens qui ont commencé à... Après l'extension des superficies cultivées, nous avons l'entrée en production de nouvelles zones. Parce que nous avons 4 zones de production. Après ces 4 zones de production, l'engouement amène des gens à créer d'autres nouvelles zones de production. Nous avons une bonne pluviométrie et la bonne floraison et fructification. L'adoption des bonnes pratiques agricoles. Tous ces présages montrent que en 2026, nous aurons une grande quantité de production au Burkina. Nos perspectives en 2026. En 2026, nous attendons une production approximative de 290 000 tonnes. Excusez-moi, ici, il y a une erreur sur la projection qui est là. Au lieu de 250 000 tonnes, ça doit être environ 290 000 tonnes. La perspective. En perspective de transformation, nous envisageons transformer 30 000 tonnes avec un taux de 10,35%. En termes d'exportation, nous comptons exporter 265 000 tonnes. Et il faudrait souligner également que le gouvernement a commencé à mettre en place une unité de transformation de pommes de cajou qui a une capacité d'environ 5 000 tonnes pour transformer les pommes en vinaigre, en vin, ainsi de suite. Également, en perspective, nous avons la mise en place d'un mécanisme de facilitation de l'approvisionnement des unités de transformation. Parce que les gens ont remarqué que l'année passée, certains exportateurs ont eu quelques soucis au Burkina Faso pour exporter les noix. C'était une année expérimentale pour nous, pour mettre en place un mécanisme pour faciliter vraiment l'approvisionnement de nos unités de transformation. Et après l'approvisionnement, on a le renforcement des capacités des acteurs. Nous attendons également la facilitation d'accès des acteurs à la certification. Vous savez que le Burkina Faso est leader dans la en matière de noix biologiques, surtout. Nous allons plaider pour l'accès des acteurs au financement rentable. Également, la promotion de la vente groupée. Les politiques gouvernementales, notre gouvernement a une orientation en faveur de la transformation locale. Parce que présentement, le gouvernement en place, on est en révolution populaire progressiste au Burkina. On a un appui institutionnel. Il y a un fonds d'Umkafa qui est mis à la disposition des acteurs de la filière. Il y a la mise en œuvre d'un programme de recherche 2026-2029 par le CBF et le ministère de la Recherche. Nous avons un appui à la certification des vergers et unités de transformation. En termes de réglementation, nous avons la mise en place d'agréments pour la commercialisation des noix de cajou depuis 2025. La définition de prix plancher bord champ pour protéger les producteurs. l'autorisation spéciale d'exportation, on a le prélèvement sur l'exportation de la noix brute de cajou qui est fixé à 25%. C'est un nouveau mécanisme pour protéger vraiment les entreprises locales, à les inciter à la transformation. Les attentes des acheteurs. Les acheteurs attendent surtout une contractualisation avec la définition de prix périodiques stables. Nous avons également l'octroi de préfinancement par les exportateurs. Si les exportateurs préfinancent les commerçants, ça pourrait faciliter les choses. On a également le respect du circuit de commercialisation en fonction de chaque niveau et également le partage d'informations sur les réformes nationales et internationales. On demande aussi aux internationaux de nous partager les informations car ces informations nous permettent aussi de prendre des décisions. On veut également contribuer à l'approvisionnement des unités de transformation locales avant les exportations. Raison pour laquelle la mise en place des agréments est là. Merci pour votre attention.
I would request Mr. Soro to present on Ivory Coast.
Je suis Soro Beh, le président de l'interprofession de la filière anacarde de Côte d'Ivoire, en abrégé OIA anacarde. Je suis ici pour m'exprimer au nom de l'ensemble des acteurs de la filière anacarde en Côte d'Ivoire, donc composés en 4 corporations que sont les producteurs, les acheteurs, les exportateurs de noix brutes et enfin les transformateurs. Nous sommes ici aujourd'hui à cette journée mondiale du cajou, cette conférence mondiale du cajou, pour vous parler des perspectives de la production de la noix de cajou en Côte d'Ivoire. Donc il faut rappeler que l'anacarde a été introduit dans le Grand Nord en Côte d'Ivoire, pour répondre à des besoins de foresterie et il est devenu une culture de rente qui procure un revenu substantiel aux populations donc, du nord à l'est en passant par le centre de la Côte d'Ivoire. Cela a été possible grâce à la politique d'orientation agricole sectorielle de l'anacarde matérialisée ici par les réformes de 2013 dont l'objectif était de garantir un revenu décent aux producteurs de façon durable. Aujourd'hui, des performances sont enregistrées au niveau de la filière, comme vous le constaterez dans ma présentation, mais malgré ces efforts issus de la volonté politique, n'est-ce pas, de notre pays, notre secteur souffre de la non-transparence et donc en l'absence de bourse, la volatilité des prix, les questions logistiques et financières visiblement insatisfaites, le non-respect des règles de commercialisation, du commerce international, ainsi de suite. C'est dans cette optique donc, de trouver ensemble des solutions que nous faisons cette présentation déclinée en 12 slides. Je voudrais rappeler ici le positionnement de la Côte d'Ivoire sur le plan mondial. Il faut rappeler que la Côte d'Ivoire est premier producteur mondial de noix brutes de cajou. Nous sommes également premier exportateur mondial de noix brutes de cajou. Nous sommes premier transformateur africain et 3e sur le plan mondial. La filière anacarde est classée la 3e filière en termes d'exportation donc des matières premières agricoles en Côte d'Ivoire après le cacao et le VA. Nos réalisations sur 2025. Ici, nous voudrons rappeler que la production qui a été réalisée sur la campagne 2025 s'élève à 1 549 000 tonnes, soit 40% de la production mondiale. Au niveau de la transformation locale, nous avons enregistré 659 000 tonnes donc transformées localement, ce qui représente environ 43% de la production nationale. Et enfin, les exportations de noix brutes s'élèvent à 864 000, soit 25% de l'offre mondiale de la noix. Mais quels sont les facteurs d'accroissement de la production en Côte d'Ivoire? Il y a 2 facteurs clés qui, n'est-ce pas, explicitement justifient la production en Côte d'Ivoire. Nous avons des conditions climatiques favorables à la culture de l'anacarde en Côte d'Ivoire et il y a également la politique d'orientation agricole sectorielle qui est donc favorable à la durabilité de la filière. Au niveau de cette politique d'orientation, il y a l'observation des bonnes pratiques qui est donc matérialisée ici par des sensibilisations. Il y a aussi la politique d'amélioration de la productivité, donc du rendement des vergers. Comme je l'ai dit en introduction, l'anacarde a été introduite en Côte d'Ivoire pour répondre aux besoins écologiques. Donc pour dire que les bonnes pratiques agricoles n'avaient pas été observées au départ. Et donc il y a des sensibilisations qui sont menées pour, n'est-ce pas, ramener la densité des vergers vieillissants ou bien plus denses à des vergers moins denses ou bien à la densité normale pour leur permettre d'être productifs. Donc la Côte d'Ivoire aujourd'hui est beaucoup plus orientée vers la politique de l'accroissement de la productivité, donc du rendement des champs, que l'expansion par la création de nouvelles plantations. Également, au niveau de la Côte d'Ivoire, dans la politique d'orientation sectorielle, le conseil agricole et l'encadrement sont à l'ordre du jour. Il y a la réhabilitation dont je parlais tout à l'heure, qui nous permet de ramener la densité à une densité normale pour permettre aux anciens vergers d'être productifs. Et enfin, de concert avec le conseil coton à la carte, on met à disposition du matériel végétal que de toujours encourager le tout venant comme au départ. Et il y a également d'autres services agricoles de proximité qui sont, n'est-ce pas, mécanisés et dédiés à la fonction de production. Toutes ces actions étant menées grâce à cette bonne politique agricole, donc orientée vers le secteur de l'anacarde, nous avons pu enregistrer quelques résultats. Également, nous sommes à un accroissement du rendement à l'hectare qui est passé de 300 à 700 kg. Les vergers vieillissants sont désormais productifs grâce à la fonction de la réhabilitation. La qualité en Côte d'Ivoire est passée aujourd'hui à une moyenne de plus de 47 en termes de KOR. Quant à nos prévisions sur 2026, en matière de production, nous estimons 1 600 000 tonnes sur 2026, compte tenu de toutes les actions qui ont été menées. Pour ce qui concerne la qualité, nous attendons une qualité moyenne de 48 en termes de KOR. Et naturellement, la politique étant orientée vers la transformation qui est un outil de durabilité, donc de régulation du marché, la capacité installée de notre industrie locale s'élève à plus de 700 000 tonnes. La politique d'orientation agricole sectorielle, donc, qui est axée sur le développement durable de la filière à travers la transformation, le rendement, la qualité, tout en améliorant les exportations de la noix pour un producteur prospère et épanoui, va se décliner en plusieurs fonctions. La première fonction, comme je disais, compte tenu de la politique de la Côte d'Ivoire qui est axée sur la transformation, ici, la transformation est favorable en Côte d'Ivoire compte tenu d'un code d'investissement accessible à tous. Il n'y a aucune taxe qui est perçue sur l'exploitation des produits issus de la transformation, que ce soit les produits de première transformation ou de seconde transformation. Il y a également le conseil coton à la carte pour encourager cette fonction de transformation en Côte d'Ivoire qui met un stock d'amorçage à la disposition des exportateurs pour leur permettre d'avoir un stock outil ou bien des garanties auprès des banques pour leur permettre un accès facile au financement. Dans la même mesure, sinon pour les mêmes mesures incitatives à la transformation, il y a une subvention qui est mise à la disposition des transformateurs sur les produits transformés et vendus. Il y a également les frais de recherche qui sont alloués par le Conseil du coton, de l'anacarde et du karité. Mais en Côte d'Ivoire, pour rappeler ici, nous avons la disponibilité des infrastructures routières et énergétiques. Le capital humain est également disponible, donc vous avez les ressources humaines qui sont disponibles pour la main-d'œuvre. Le sourcing, comme je le disais, dans le slide précédent, nous avons du produit disponible. Le volume à transformer, je l'ai dit tout à l'heure, est environ de 700 000 tonnes, mais je rappelle ici que la Côte d'Ivoire ambitionne de faire plus d'1 600 000 tonnes en termes de production. Et cette production est de qualité. Donc, vous avez du sourcing disponible de qualité pour les usines de transformation locales. Au niveau aussi de notre code d'investissement, la création de nouvelles entreprises à Côte d'Ivoire est chose facile grâce au CPC, aux efforts administratifs de l'État de Côte d'Ivoire. Aujourd'hui, l'État de Côte d'Ivoire est en train de mettre en place un moyen, sinon un outil pour pouvoir consolider la transformation première qui se fait en ce moment et une projection à moyen ou à court terme de la deuxième, sinon la seconde transformation. Il y a également le projet de transformation de la pomme et la coque qui est en cours pour, n'est-ce pas, stimuler le revenu du producteur. Et enfin, nous, au niveau de la Côte d'Ivoire, nous sommes en train de faire la promotion pour la consommation locale de nos produits transformés. Quant à la production, au niveau de la production, la politique est plutôt orientée vers la productivité que l'accroissement des plantations par la création de nouvelles plantations. Je l'ai dit tout à l'heure que nous avons procédé à la réhabilitation et chaque année, ça sera chose faite, réhabilitation des vergers non productifs du compte de leur vieillissement. Il y a le conseil et les recherches, du moins, qui sont beaucoup plus accentuées grâce aux efforts de l'État de Côte d'Ivoire à travers le Conseil coton anacarde et le FIRCA. Des actions fortes sont aussi menées au niveau de la qualité pour, n'est-ce pas, l'améliorer davantage. Et le Conseil coton anacarde, avec notre organisation du moins, ambitionne de mettre en place des magasins à l'intérieur qu'on appelle les magasins régulateurs. Et nous, en tant qu'acteurs, étant conscients que c'est seulement par la qualité que nous pouvons améliorer notre positionnement de la Côte d'Ivoire donc à l'international, qui vient, n'est-ce pas, renforcer, sinon améliorer le prix cap de référence, nous envisageons, n'est-ce pas, contribuer à l'amélioration de la qualité par la création d'aires de séchage au bord champ, de sorte que le produit qui vient de la brousse jusqu'au port soit bien trié et séché. Toujours dans le cadre de la politique, au niveau de la commercialisation extérieure de la noix, l'anacarde de Côte d'Ivoire, qui est un produit qui est soumis à agrément. Pour pouvoir exporter, n'est-ce pas, de l'anacarde en Côte d'Ivoire, il vous faut avoir un agrément auprès du Conseil du coton de l'anacarde et du karité. Et pour rappel, notre disposition légale autorise la seule voie d'exportation et la voie terrestre. Et la voie portuaire, pardon. La voie terrestre est strictement interdite pour l'exportation de l'anacarde. Pour dire que si vous avez de l'anacarde que vous voulez exporter à partir de la Côte d'Ivoire, vous avez seulement une seule voie qui est la voie portuaire. Donc la voie terrestre est strictement interdite. Pour l'année 2026, les taxes que nous avons enregistrées au niveau de l'année 2025 seront quasi reconduites. Le contrôle également de la qualité de l'humidité sur toutes les exportations sera renforcé par le Conseil coton anacarde pour qu'à la fin, nous puissions aller au-delà même de ce que nous avons indiqué comme KOR 48. Nous aussi, nous pensons aller vers la mise en place d'un contrat cadre. Un contrat cadre qui encadre, n'est-ce pas, toutes les transactions entre nos exportateurs, donc de Côte d'Ivoire, et la contrepartie, ou bien ce qu'on appelle le client, de sorte à pouvoir, n'est-ce pas, couvrir la volatilité du marché. Comme j'ai parlé tout à l'heure de la non-transparence du marché en l'absence de bourse. Le Conseil coton anacarde voudrait aussi, n'est-ce pas, vérifier, sinon contrôler. Ça, c'est à la demande des acteurs, la qualité de la contrepartie, la qualité du client, de sorte que tous ceux qui sont habilités à aller acheter de l'anacarde en Côte d'Ivoire soient reconnus par le Conseil coton anacarde par leur qualité. Et enfin, nous en arrivons à la dernière fonction qui est orientée vers la politique nationale, qui est la structuration et l'amélioration des conditions de vie et de travail du producteur, qui est aussi un résultat obtenu des deux points que nous avons évoqués avant. Donc cela se manifeste, n'est-ce pas, par la mise en place des collèges qui a été faite déjà, ce qui fait qu'aujourd'hui l'OIA existe, c'est qu'il y a eu la mise en place des collèges que sont les producteurs, les exportateurs, les acheteurs et les transformateurs pour arriver enfin à la mise en place de notre interprofession. Nous aussi, nous voudrons, n'est-ce pas, mettre en place une base de données des producteurs pour faciliter, n'est-ce pas, la traçabilité. Et cette base de données est précédée par l'identification des producteurs et la géolocalisation de leurs plantations. Et tout cela va concourir, n'est-ce pas, à la facilitation de la réalisation des projets à l'endroit du producteur pour qu'il soit prospère et épanoui. Des investissements sont aussi prévus, comme fait déjà, dans le milieu rural en termes de responsabilité société d'entreprise dans les zones de production. La mécanisation aussi, c'est aussi un outil qui est prévu pour, n'est-ce pas, réduire la pénibilité de l'exploitation de la production chez nous. C'est vrai, il y a eu des performances qui sont enregistrées, mais n'empêche qu'il y a des difficultés auxquelles, du moins, la commercialisation extérieure est confrontée. Il y a la non-transparence du marché en l'absence de bourse. Nous avons la volatilité des prix. Il y a le non-respect des clauses contractuelles entre nos exportateurs et leurs clients. Il y a également l'irrégularité des navires entraînant la congestion de nos ports, le contrôle qualité qui est souvent fait de façon contradictoire par le client qui est le seul maître à l'arrivée du produit, et enfin la non-maîtrise des surestaries à l'arrivée impactant négativement les marges de nos exportateurs, la lenteur ou le long délai de règlement suite à la remise documentaire qui augmente, n'est-ce pas, les délais de dénantissement, donc ayant pour conséquence financière l'augmentation des intérêts de ceux qui contractent des prêts auprès des banques. Et enfin, il y a la fluctuation de la devise, parce que la structuration que nous appelons la matrice en Côte d'Ivoire est basée sur un niveau de dollar, un taux de dollar, et quand à l'arrivée, sinon, au moment de la réalisation de la transaction, ce dollar n'est pas respecté, il peut être défavorable à l'exportateur. Nos attentes pour une pérennisation des exploitations des acteurs, nous souhaiterons qu'il y ait le respect des clauses contractuelles, Nous souhaiterions également une flexibilité au niveau des paiements, une instauration d'un contrat cadre entre nos exportateurs et les acheteurs, donc les clients. Nous voulons aussi qu'on soit encouragé, n'est-ce pas, par la représentation de chaque client au niveau de la Côte d'Ivoire, pour faciliter, n'est-ce pas, le contrôle de qualité, de sorte que la qualité de départ soit acceptée des deux parties. Encourager également la durabilité en accordant une prime aux producteurs à travers la traçabilité, le respect de la politique pays. Notre pays a sa politique de commercialisation. On voudrait aussi inviter l'ensemble des acteurs au respect de cette politique. Donc en conclusion, on voudrait dire, malgré l'augmentation de la production et l'amélioration de la noix de cajou en Côte d'Ivoire, face à la croissance de la capacité installée des usines en Côte d'Ivoire, avec un objectif d'1 million de tonnes d'ici 2030, facilité, n'est-ce pas, par le coût d'investissement favorable, face à la forte lutte aux frontières sécurisant la production, la Côte d'Ivoire est par excellence le pays d'investissement. Nous invitons donc les investisseurs, les traders, les usiniers ou bien équipementiers à venir s'installer en Côte d'Ivoire pour un meilleur business. Toutefois, en attendant de permettre une transparence du marché à travers la création d'une bourse mondiale de la noix de cajou, nous exhortons tous les acteurs du monde cajou au strict respect des règles du commerce international en encadrant leurs transactions par l'instauration d'un contrat cadre. Nous espérons que notre adresse a retenu l'attention de l'ensemble des participants de la WCC et croyons fermement à la pérennisation des exploitations de tous les acteurs du monde cajou, dans l'espoir qu'à partir d'ici des intentions d'achat, donc que nous appelons les LOI, c'est nous avec nos transformateurs, nos exportateurs, nos acheteurs et producteurs. Je vous souhaite une très bonne conférence. Ensemble, consolidons nos économies tout en respectant les politiques pays, sécurisant la position du producteur. Vive l'ANACAD, vive les acteurs du monde du cajou mondial. Merci.
Thank you, Mr. Soro, for the detailed presentation. Last but not the least, we have Mr. Mohamed Diaoune to present on Guinea-Conakry.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mohamed Diaoune. I'm the CEO of Diaoune Agro Industrie. We are processors in Guinea and Côte d'Ivoire and also in Vietnam. My presentation will be very short because there's a lot of changes happening in Guinea in terms of the evolution of the crop. Overview of Guinea crop, I will talk about that. I will talk about the numbers of export and the quantity that is exported to Vietnam, and also after that going to the conclusion. Guinea has two main production areas, one close to Ivory Coast border that is producing more cashew, around 120,000 metric tons. The quality there is similar to the quality of Ivory Coast and Burkina. The quality is around 45 to 47 lbs. And the other part is Bokeh area that is closer to Bissau border and Senegal. That is all better KOR between 49 and 51. Okay, here's the overview of the numbers. You can see in 2023, Guinea exported 249,000 tons. In 2024, we went to 180,000 tons. And luckily, last year, we went back again to 201,000 tons. These changes are due to regulations in Côte d'Ivoire, meaning this whole production was not really from Guinea. When Ivory Coast decided to close the border, our numbers went down. But now we are proud to at least say that the 200,000 is our own production. Vietnam is the biggest importer of Guinea cashew. You can see this 2015, Vietnam imported around 115,000 tons. The rest mainly goes to India and small quantity to other origins. Last year, I think most of the buyers from Guinea were complaining about a lot of challenges with the delay of the transit time. That was really a big problem. And we think that is a temporary situation because there's a lot of work going on to try to mitigate and make sure this will be avoided for the season of 2026. Last year, what happened because of the some constructions going at the port, the biggest vessels were not coming. So there was a lot of jam at the port, a lot of empty containers, which was really difficult to move the product. But hopefully that situation will not be there this year. In terms of strategic response to that, the private sector is now working closely with the government. The government has giving from December to January free demurrage charges at the port because pushing the product out was very challenging. They are also upgrading the delivery system at the port. They have brought some new machines, and they are also doing the extension of part of the port by 7 hectares. And the government is also engaged in discussion with the private sector to see what other measures can be taken so that 2026 will be more fluid. In terms of what is happening in Guinea, the good thing is we have our interprofession that is closely engaged with the government to try to put in a lot of incentives as is happening now in Côte d'Ivoire and other countries like Burkina. The global strategy of Guinea is also going towards local processing. So there's a lot of discussions going on, and there's a new government in place. There have been some changes in the government, the structure of the government. The two ministries, Ministry of Industry and Ministry of Commerce, now have been merged to become one ministry. That will make most of these policies going easy. Apart from that, the private sector is really working hard to, the quality is already okay, and we are trying to improve the quality better. And this was my presentation, and I thank you for listening.
We'll have a quick panel discussion, maybe a quick word or remark from each of the panelists. Mr. Nagarwala, to start with Mozambique. If you see over the few years, we are seeing Mozambique having sort of stagnancy in the production volumes, despite having the geographical advantage. What Mozambique can do differently to achieve larger production numbers, looking at the peers like Tanzania or in West African countries? What is your view on that?
Thank you for the question. See, Mozambique, our farmers are very experienced with cashew. Actually, Mozambique have a history of more than 80 years of cashew trading, and it's not a new. I think maybe pigeon peas is a new, sesame is a new past 20 or 30 years, but cashew is 80 or more than 80, 100 years old. So, long year back, due to the weather effect and due to the markets, the production was being down. But now, day by day, production are increasing. What we expect, good market support from internationals. Buyers keep little trust on Mozambican cashew. Other side, we already getting a good support from our local governments. Local governments are also very happy and very supporting to increase the productions. And due to this one, these numbers, we are looking more than 100,000, 150,000. These are the result of government efforts, market supports. The same we are expecting from the buyer side.
So can we expect the volumes to grow, let's say, to 250,000 in the next 3 years? What do you feel?
Yes, pretty. We are quite confident. These numbers will definitely will reach more than 200,000. A very unfortunate factor is the weather. Like this year, we was expecting a very high production, but due to the high rain in south zone, currently raining in the north zone, this factor can be effect for our next upcoming production. But the way which the Mozambique is developing, the way our farmers are trained for the way the local exporters are forcing, the way the government supporting, I'm pretty sure we will cross the 200,000 tons or more than 250,000 tons products and data in upcoming years.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nagarwala. Mr. Dang, question to you, rather, from audiences also it would be the similar question. With a shift towards local processing at origins, will Vietnam reduce its reliance on imported RCN? And what are the tonnage goals for the domestic production over the next 3 years?
Thank you for your question. Actually, for the domestic production, I think it's keep stable. Because, Vietnam is unable to expand the acreage of cashew tree because we have to compete with so many trees. As I mentioned before, from cassava, pepper, coffee, and recently the durian with more than $4 billion exported turnover. So that's why, according to the government policy and vision, we try our best to keep the stable area, the stable acreage of cashew tree, around 300 to 350,000 hectares. But we try our best to increase the output, the yield of nut from the 2 to 4 tons per hectare. That's why we have to learn a lot from the Cambodia. So Cambodia friend, can you share to me, the good variety? It's like the M23, we have the same variety like Cambodia, AB. We remember some scientists from Vietnam to come to Cambodia to research and also to take some good variety from Cambodia as well. And Vietnam have a good variety. The number one is PN1. PN1, the yield is good, about 2 to 3 tons per hectare. But in average, it's around 1.5 in the normal condition. But I think the nut cow is for PN1 is not good, but AB is better. It's like the M23, almost around the 100. Nut cow is a very big nut. That's good. And for the altern, PN1 from the 48 to 52, for nut cow, for the altern. And it's a good variety Vietnam has so far. But in general, I think don't worry, Vietnam has to continue rely on import raw nut from West Africa and Cambodia and all of you over here. Because at the moment, we have a requirement of 3.5 million metric ton per year for processing. Last year, we imported 3.1 million metric ton of raw nut, and also the 128,000 metric ton of Burma Cashewnut. So that's why not only RCN, but also Burma Cashewnut, we have good requirement. If you have Burma Cashewnut, export to Vietnam. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dang. Mr. Thien, what are Cambodia's key targets for expanding local cashew processing over the next 3 years?
Thank you again, Mr. Moderator. As you know, Cambodia, we got the national cashew policy. So in the cashew policy, state very clearly, by 2027, we will be processed 25% of the total production in Cambodia. When we set up the policy, all stakeholder get involved. Private company, international development partner, and mainly the government. So if it works, it will make the policy work. So the second strategy that the government is putting out is building the processing facility. It's like I mentioned earlier, the government is set up CIP, Cashew Industrial Park, 400 hectares of land that can attract a lot of processor investor into this area. 400 hectare land is not just a processing zone, but it's all other facility in there as well. It's like drying yard, warehouse, and the other stuff, like machinery producing. as well. So this is in progress. It takes a bit of time. And beside that 400 hectares of land, the government is approached private sector to build the agriculture special economic zone in the area of Kampong Thom, because Kampong Thom is the largest producer province in Cambodia. We produce more than 200,000 tons every year, just Kampong Thom province alone. The third strategy that the government approach is to diversify to the market. So we export, even though we export a little bit, but we test the market in Europe, Australia, Japan, Korea, and some other country. And then we've got very positive feedback. So all of this feedback is attract investor to invest in Cambodia. And also the Cambodian government got the free trade agreement, like Cambodia ASEAN, Cambodia China, ASEAN China, OSAP, etc. So all of this free trade agreement is an opportunity to attract investors to process in Cambodia in order to export to all of those countries with free tax. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Ojha, thank you for the presentation. It was very interesting. If I understood correctly, and also from the audience's perspective, the numbers what you shared for Ghana and Togo in terms of the landed volumes vis-a-vis the production numbers, were those specifically as a Ghana origin and Togo origin, or those were exported volumes probably from Togo and Ghana, including Burkina Faso as an origin?
Right, so they were the landed volumes in India and Vietnam. The data came from DGCI and VINACAS reports.
No, as in when you say landed, it is specific as an origin Ghana and Togo itself, or?
Yeah, it was country of origin as Togo and Ghana.
All right, okay. And would also like to know, do we expect any policy, tax or regulatory changes in Togo this year?
We haven't heard anything as of now, but we'll keep you posted if we hear anything.
Fine, thank you. Mr. Adesokan, what are your thoughts on the quality of Nigeria's cashew this year in general? Because last year we saw there were issues in terms of nut count, especially for the Kogi region.
Like I said, in Kwara, where I was seeing 52 KOR this year, some parts of Kogi we are seeing 47, 48 KOR. So, and the rain hasn't started yet, so I think we're going to have a pretty good season.
All right. Fine, thank you. Mr. Soro, given Cote d'Ivoire's strong performance in 2025 and the focus on processing, but with the recent revisions in the incentive scheme for the local processing, do you see any impact it will have in this season's export scenario?
Bon, je vais me permettre de répondre en français. C'est vrai que la politique de la Côte d'Ivoire est orientée plus sur la transformation, qui est à notre avis un outil de régulation, un meilleur outil d'ailleurs de régulation. Nous sommes en train d'avoir pour ambition, on va dire, d'ici 2030, 1 million de tonnes transformées localement. Mais je pense que pour la noix brute, on n'a pas à s'inquiéter puisque la production est en train de croître, n'est-ce pas? Nous étions l'année dernière à 944 000, donc 2024, et nous sommes passés à 1 549 000 tonnes sur 2025. En 2024, nous avions 344 000 tonnes transformées localement sur 944 000 tonnes collectées, donc au niveau de la production. En 2025, nous sommes passés à environ 649 000 tonnes, que vous avez vu 659 000 tonnes du moins que vous avez vu tout à l'heure, avec une production de 1 549 000 tonnes. Et nous sommes en train d'aller vers 1 million de tonnes comme objectif fixé par le Conseil coton en ACAD d'ici 2030. Mais cela dit, la production aussi suit aussi le même, n'est-ce pas, la même fonction, le même rythme, pour dire que si nous avons la transformation qui augmente, naturellement avec la production qui augmente, il n'y a pas de problème qu'on ait un problème d'exploitation au niveau de la noix brute. C'est pour ça que nous avons lancé le message à l'endroit de l'ensemble des acteurs qui sont, n'est-ce pas, concernés par l'achat de la noix brute de la Côte d'Ivoire, qui sont intéressés à aller s'installer également en Côte d'Ivoire pour la transformation, qui sont aussi intéressés par les produits finis issus ou bien semi-finis issus de la Côte d'Ivoire, à venir s'investir en Côte d'Ivoire. Donc pour nous, il n'y a aucun problème à s'inquiéter, la production étant de façon croissante avec la transformation. Il y aura la production disponible aussi, n'est-ce pas, pour l'exportation des noix.
Thank you. Mr. Sankara, so with the shift towards local processing in Burkina Faso, similar to Ivory Coast, what is the window going to be which will only allow the local processors to buy the produce initially? Is there any specific timeline wherein, let's say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, that only processors can buy and then exporters are allowed to enter?
La campagne 2026 sera lancée bientôt le 21 février au Burkina Faso. Je pense qu'à travers le lancement, on va permettre tout d'abord aux transformateurs, parce que la politique gouvernementale est dirigée vers la transformation locale, l'octroi d'agréments aux différents acteurs, premièrement peut-être aux transformateurs pour les permettre d'acquérir les noix qu'il faut, et ensuite définir la période vraiment qu'il faut permettre aux transformateurs de pouvoir avoir les stocks consistants. Et maintenant, ouvrir le marché, par exemple, aux exportateurs pour qu'ils puissent exporter les produits qu'il faut.
Mr. Diaoune, just a quick word on which region in Guinea will lead the production this year? Will it be Kanka or Bokeh in terms of volume?
In terms of volume, Kanka will always remain the biggest supply zone. And I will take the opportunity here to reassure all our buyers from Vietnam and India to still come this season and buy early, because the congestion problem will be totally resolved. So there should not be too much worry. And for investors also to come, because very soon you will get the news about a lot of incentives, almost the same thing that will be happening in Ivory Coast for people who want to install processing factories in Guinea.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, quickly, I'd like to highlight a few key takeaways. The crop looks very stable and promising in all the origins. Fundamentals are strong, but we still have to see the outcomes might vary subject to the climate variabilities. If everything falls in place, we might have 6 million tons of crop globally this year. Beyond volumes, the focus will remain on quality, consistency, as usual, and efficient supply chains. We might have some disruptions with the local shift in processing in more and more African countries. And also from the headwinds from geopolitical uncertainties, it may affect the exports and its timelines here and there, but it doesn't look that in general. Also, the session underscored the need for closer coordination between processing and producing countries, transparent information sharing, predictable trade frameworks, which will be critical to strengthening the resilience of the cashew value chain overall. With that, I'd like to conclude this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Shinde, for encapsulating this so beautifully at the end.